Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, I don't know where to start, but I know where I'll finish. This is really quite a pleasure. I have been here, excuse me, I've been here once or twice before, and I must say that in my career, the people in this room and the people that preceded them in this room have been my friends. They have helped make what I enjoyed playing the game of golf. They were all friends. Some of them weren't so kind sometimes, but they were my buddies. And tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing one of my friends, and that's Jim Nantz. For the 5th time as a National Sportscaster of the Year, but he did know that none of this would have happened if Jim hadn't returned a phone call 25 years ago when he was working for KSL, Salt Lake City. It was the end of the Meadowlands. He was in the Meadowlands in New Jersey to cover BYU and that appearance and a kickoff classic against Boston College. Do you remember that, Jim? And was given a message to return a call to Ted Scheicher. The CBS Sports. No one carried a cell phone in those days. You know, that was one of those things. They hadn't quite made it yet. Anyway, Jim went into a tunnel in the Meadowlands to answer the phone. What did this man want? And he said, "Congratulations, Jim. Welcome to CBS Sports." A few words launched an exceptional career for Jim Nantz. He enjoyed the world of television that was given him acclaim for weeks ago and awarded him his 2nd Emmy. Giant Stadium, which is where this is all happening, was demolished. And true to a promise, Jim Nantz, the stadium authority, rescued that phone before the tunnel was torn down, and he saved it. And a lady by the Melissa Miller stashed it away and brought it here tonight. So I'm going to take the pleasure of presenting that to Jim in just a few minutes, but I have a couple more things to say before I do that. And that was a quarter of a century ago, Jim. And the radio television industry has many sportscasters through its long history, and I've had the privilege of knowing many of them, particularly those who have involved in the great game of golf. And I must say, for just a moment, if I may, go back to the early years of television and golf, and people that you and I both know, Jim: Chris Schinkel, Lindsey Nelson, Jack Whitaker, Vin Skelly, Jim Simpson, Jim McKay, Kurt Gowdy, Charlie Jones. They were all great guys, and they were a part of this organization. Just to come to a few who helped out the golf and television mat, most of all for those who have been sincerely honored in this gathering in Salisbury. I admire their talents and their personalities and acknowledge the game. They were all great. I will say that I suppose that if I've had any success, a great deal of it has come from the people in this room and the people that preceded them here. And I've had the opportunity to be with Jim numerous times in my career, and he has handled it so well and so beautifully through the years that I can't help but say he is a guy that everyone in this room, sportscaster, radio announcer, writer, whatever, has to admire and say, thanks, Jim, for a great job. You know, I think about all the things that have happened, and Jim, in addition to what he has done as a sportscaster, an announcer, and a friend, he has also been pretty charitable. And he and I both know a couple of things about the next two guys I'm going to mention because they're amigos. If you know who the amigos are, Jim sort of overshadowed them a little, but he went into broadcasting and they went into golf, and that was Fred Couples and Blaine McAllister. And the three amigos have a little charity in Houston, which has been fantastic. I had the pleasure of being there with them on an occasion, and they do a great deal of work for charities in Houston, Texas. Jim, I could go on and talk about the things that you and I have done over the years with our friend sitting on your left or your right over here, and the guy here at the edge of the table down beneath us, Jim Rohr, but I'll leave him out of this whole conversation. He's just one of our buddies. But I can't tell you how important and how nice it is for me to have the opportunity to say to you, congratulations, and to thank you for so many years of great work in broadcasting and the work that you've done, not just telling people how you feel and getting the word to the athletes and the people in the world. It's been fantastic. And I think that every sportscaster, every writer in this room will agree with me. But I also think they have contributed to what you do and to what you and I do as a team. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how important it is for me to have the opportunity and to have Jim ask me to do this tonight, because it's very important to me, and to have the opportunity to know my friend, Jim Nantz, is to be honored tonight. Thank you, Jim, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear me, this is the phone. This is